live on YouTube. Good evening.
Oh, we're live? We're going
We're
live today?
live. We're going
Oh
live
boy.
tonight. We are live on YouTube. It's been a while since we've gone to a live show. The Curfew Boys, we've had to change a few things. I think change a few softwares, change some computers, change some gear. I don't know what it is. However, we are back live on YouTube. What are we? We are Saturday, November 2nd already. A post-game show. Myself, Sammy, with my buddy Joey. How are you,
Hey
buddy?
now, hey now, hey now.
Hey now, hey now, hey now. You
Talk to
know,
me, Sam.
talk to you, talk to you. Hold on. Before I talk to you, let me just remind all our viewers and listeners on YouTube, you can find the Curfew Boys. You can hear all our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're very active on Twitter or known as X and Instagram. Thank you all for tuning in. Joey, how are you? How are you doing,
Uh,
Joey?
I'm okay. Besides what we'll talk about, I'm okay. Can't complain. How are you?
You know what? Not so bad. Uh, Thursday night, I did not see the game because I was at Bruce Springsteen concert at the Bell Center.
You didn't miss much.
I know I didn't miss much. What I did see was a spectacular show, a spectacular concert by Bruce Springsteen at the Bell Center. And obviously, Joe, you know our mutual friend Alex. I've gone to quite a few rock concerts with him, and I think him and I both agreed that that Bruce Springsteen concert was probably the best concert we've ever seen in our lives.
Really? Because you've been to a few
I've
of
been
them,
to a
right?
few. I've seen Rush. My favorite band, one of my favorite bands. I saw Paul McCartney. You know, another legendary rock star, I guess. Bruce Springsteen, man, he topped it. He topped it. He was so good,
Really,
so good on
I'm
how.
glad you had a good time and actually saw a good performance. Because
Yeah,
what has followed has not been great.
no, no. You know what? I can't really comment on the game on Thursday against the Capitals. We're gonna start with this that very famous back skate that Marty made his players do, a la Herb Brooks from the movie Miracle. So when I saw that, I thought, you know what, good, the players deserve that quote unquote punishment. You know, listen, tough love. Sometimes a coach, you gotta do that.
But
I
it
don't.
worked.
I don't know if it worked. I mean, in terms as far as a victory goes against the Pittsburgh Penguins, no, it didn't work.
Not even performance, Sam. You can't play. I mean, we'll get into it more, but you can't play. I think Montreal maybe played 10, 15 minutes of the game, third period. They kind of woke up.
They woke up at Dvorak's goal. Joel, can you lower your camera a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just a little bit. There you go.
You want to see my lovely eye?
I I'm gonna nickname you the Eye of Joey, or
You
kind
can.
of like the Eye of Sauron. Hello, Kazi,
Rings of Powers
Elias,
is good, by the
Ron.
way. I just finished it.
You did, hey? Yeah, Rings of Power. The second season was a lot better, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay. All right, let's get into this.
It's slow, like what we're about to get into.
That's one way of putting it. Okay, final score 3-1. You know, this game was a game between two bad teams. Like, 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 I don't even think Pittsburgh played well. Like
No, they just played worse.
both teams looked defensively. They didn't know what the heck to do. You know what I mean? Let's be. You know what? I'll go as far as say this. It's not even the Pittsburgh Penguins that beat the Canadiens tonight. It's just Sidney Crosby. It was just Crosby that beat the Canadiens. Luckily for me, he's in my fantasy league or hockey pool, whatever you want to call it. So I got points because of Sidney Crosby tonight.
You are trying to find any positive you can.
Well, yeah, it is. Well, this is just a positive for me. I cannot find any positive right now regarding the Montreal Canadiens. Like, I don't know about you, Joey. The first period was boring.
Completely
I
boring.
I did not I did not feel any excitement coming out of that period.
Nothing.
Nothing in the
Second, we
first.
were second. I even think second, it was a bit more lively for Pittsburgh. But Montreal only woke up when they scored that goal, but a little bit too late.
Yeah, I like what Ron is saying here. Both teams were so worried about defense they forgot to try to score.
Yes, he's right. That's a
Yeah.
good point, Ron, because both teams have been giving up goals. That's been one of their weak points for the whole season. And of course, even when it's two bad teams are playing, we're coming on the wrong end of it most of the time. Besides that 2 game weekend, Sam, I don't think. I mean, I know records say otherwise when we played them, but if you look at the standings now and who Montreal played, the 4 wins they have, the only team they beat that's above 500 is Toronto.
Toronto. That's true, and that's what a lot of people were pointing out either today or just before the weekend started. Is that yeah, it's crazy how the Atlantic Division like is tight because everybody's losing, except
Yes,
for
it's
maybe
not a
except for Toronto and Florida.
well, Florida more
Florida,
than Toronto.
Florida, yeah, yeah.
Toronto's about to lose. I think they were losing
I
to
didn't
St.
check the
Louis.
score tonight, but okay. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, they
I
lost to
just
St. Louis, so they're almost at 500 as well.
so you know what I mean, and so maybe that's a bit of a positive. And when I say a positive, I mean like we should be so harsh and ready to press the quote unquote panic button. But I think we all have a right to say that we're not liking what we're seeing on the ice right now as far as performance is concerned.
No, exactly. It's Sam. It's not again. It's. I'll say it. I haven't been here for 1 win. I think besides Toronto, and so it's not the results. It's the way Montreal's playing. There, it doesn't. We. It seems we have taken step backwards. We stunk tonight, like we stunk most nights, and we cannot stop leaking goals. And then the one time we give up 2 goals or less, we cannot score.
Yeah. And I feel bad for Caulfield. Like his goal streak kind of like ends tonight. Um,
You should put that message up, Zane. Zane,
let's
has it
call him
really?
Zane. Well, see, I,
I'm
I
telling you.
I I agree with this. I actually agree with this. Now, hold on. Now, so when I agree I'm going to call it Zane right now. I agree that we need an experienced coach, but not as a head coach. I do agree that Marty does need help. I at least I tend to think that. Okay, so I don't know if it's the so-called quote unquote system. Listen, when they lost against New York the way they did, I mean they came back. They played a great game, a pretty good game against St. Louis. I thought they played an excellent game against Philly, but then it's just
Yeah, the Seattle game, which
the
was
Seattle game was
backwards. Yeah.
atrocious. The Seattle game, it was just like everybody was garbage. Like, no offense to Sam Montembeault, like man, he couldn't stop a beach ball that game. Shots were coming from the point, and everybody was just deflecting. I get deflections here and there. Guys couldn't block shots either. But my goodness, there was some shots like you're like the Sam Montembeault of last year or the year before would have stopped those easily,
Yes,
easily.
and he seems to have been taking a step backwards, like the rest of the team. I think, to be quite honest, it's. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's just lack of confidence, Sam. I think it's really. I mean, we have people in the chat saying it. I think it's part of a system problem. Team is
Okay.
bad. Yeah, just from John. Team is bad. Pittsburgh bad team. Habs made a bunch of mistakes, but they showed heart. Yeah, they can show heart, but it's like heart. It doesn't matter when the
But
mistakes are still happening. I don't know. I don't want
I
to
I
bash them
don't
too
I
much.
don't know, but I found this game against Pittsburgh there was no urgency, or is it just me?
Nothing.
I didn't see a sense of
Sam,
urgency. Like the guy, I felt like there was no second effort. Like just up until the third period, where my goodness, it took a Christian Dvorak goal for them to wake up. Like, hey, good for him. He got the goal. Like, because everybody's been criticizing him for like the past week or like probably since the season started. And I could and I
before that,
could and I could even yeah okay, and I could somehow understand why. But like there was no urgency, there was no second effort. The guys were on their heels like up until that point. I don't man, there's something I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think it's a confidence thing. I think it's just I think maybe it's upstairs collectively. I think like like it's one thing when you have maybe two guys that are like they're not you notice they're noticeably not playing well and it's probably lack of confidence stuff. This seems to be a collective thing now.
Yeah,
It's collectively they're not confident. They're not confident as a team right now.
it's the uh it's the entire team to me besides Caulfield. If you look at everybody the way they're playing compared to last season, I would say they're likely. I mean, you can't say Hudson, Heineman, Kapanen, they're new players, but everybody else, the only one that's stepped forward is Caulfield and
Yeah.
doing his role. Everybody else has declined. Even Suzuki's been a little less noticeable, which
No, but he's still putting up. He's averaging a point a game, but it's like
yes,
but it's quietly though. The only game he
yeah,
really
exactly.
it
You don't
was
want
like yo.
Suzuki to be a quiet player. You want
No,
that
you
more from
don't.
defensemen. So, Sam, look, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. You say Marty needs experience with him. I just say you need experience instead of him. I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry. We're not trending in the right direction, and it's been showing since last season. We've been leaking goals for years now, and you would see a path forward. And I said by game 15, we're getting closer to there. Maybe game 20, we passed
This
halfway.
this is what game
11, 12,
this is game 11 today. Well, with
4, 7, 4, 7, 1. So game 12 now. I think it's
yeah,
4. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'll give it another
they
5-day
they
game.
gotta
But
they I well for them to be somewhat. Listen, I thought I'm still gonna go ahead and say this, and I'm probably gonna be repeating this. Hey, Radomir, I'm probably gonna be repeating this from now on till the end of the season, unless things change drastically for the better. I still think them coming out at before the season started, them saying we're going to be in the mix this year, already they set expectations and the bar
exactly.
way too high. I
Yes.
think I think they, for lack of a better term, bit off more than they could chew by saying that quote. Okay,
Yep.
and and I understand they don't want to be like, well, we're gonna try to be a 500 team. Well, we'll see what happens. I get it. I get it. They don't want to say that. Totally understand, and I actually respect it. But considering who this fan base is, you say shit like that, like we're gonna be in the mix this year. Well, you better fucking back it up. So no, Radimir's right. It wasn't as bad as showing the last couple of games. They looked less fragile. While I agree with that, again, considering the practice they had, the back skating and the suicide skating that they did that like all of us loved doing when we played hockey, you would think they would come out with a little bit more emotion, a little bit more for quote unquote heart. Like they just I just didn't
It never.
see that.
It
I
never.
didn't see
It never
that.
worked. It never worked, and I don't think that's sat. Maybe data players don't care, but I would think when you're using technique like that, I don't know if it sits well with the players, and the technique didn't work. Look, I thought we were set up to fail the from when the game started, the way Marty put his lines out. And
Yeah.
what Zane said here about sending a message to the veterans that weren't performing, Anderson has been one of the guys that has underperformed, and guess what? He played on the first line, and to me, this is going back to the, oh God, what's his first name? Ducharme. I actually forget his first name.
Dominic
Dominic
Ducharme.
Ducharme. It goes back to me reminding me of when Ducharme used to not know what was happening, take the lines and put them in a blender, just spin it up, and that's what it looked like we did tonight. And we start and Sam, you can say whatever you want. Those lines didn't work because it changed by the third period, and that's where we kind of woke up.
I like what Ron said in the comments right here, right now. This is something. Where is it?
Yes,
Sorry, I just
Elias, I
lost it.
would send Dvorak. I would just cut him if I had
Okay,
the chance.
I actually like Kapanen's game, but they were winning when Pizzetta was in the lineup.
Yeah,
They were winning when Pizzetta was in the lineup. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they win because of him, but
yeah. I
like
mean,
they need. Pizzetta could bring that they don't, dude. They don't have any energy.
No,
You
you're
could give
right.
them all the fucking Red Bull you want. They're not gonna have energy. You need someone in the lineup that's gonna bring energy, and I think Pizzetta could be that guy. They
He
gotta
could be.
try it. It doesn't matter if Elias, buddy, I love you, but Pizzetta's not there to score.
Yeah, some guys have different roles on the
Pizzetta
team.
can't score though. I get it, but he's not there to score. He's there to bring energy. He's there to hit. He's there to fucking try to light a fire under our asses right now because nothing's working.
Working.
Nothing is working. So,
Welcome, Curtis. I just want to comment on what he's saying.
mm-hmm,
Montreal is tightening up on the defensive zone, but what's happening is we had a comment earlier where they're focused too much on it. They can't seem to find the right balance to now score. If they keep
mm-hmm.
focusing this way, they don't give me that sense that they're going to score while being defensively sound. So to them, it seems like it's one or the other, which makes you not a great hockey team.
Yeah, and I like what Radomir said over here. Pizzetta in the lineup gives Arbor a bit of breathing room. I think so. I mean,
Yeah,
I
because
think
right now
so.
Arbor is
He
he's just trying to light a fire under people and fight people, but I mean it's not really helping him focus on you know playing the
and
game.
and you know what? And in all honesty, I also believe that Kapanen and Heineman, they're good for them. They're Marty is giving them opportunities, but they're not they're not guys. Them too. They're gonna be role players. Like Kapanen is probably gonna be a shutdown type of centerman. And to be 100% honest with you, I like Heineman. I really do. And he's a hard worker. You see it on the ice. Let's be honest here. I think the only reason why he's on this team is because Patrick Laine got injured.
Yeah, very
That's
possible. But
that's
you know
that.
what, Sam? They're not even the worst player. I mean, you can all
No,
put
they're
them on a
not. No,
bunch.
no, they're not. They're not the worst. No, they are not the worst forwards in this lineup. No, I'm definitely not saying that. But I get it. Like two new rookies, and you're giving them these roles that even them they're trying to figure out who they are. It's if you want to be in the mix, you can't have that.
No,
You get
you're
what I'm
right.
saying?
We have
So
we have too many of it. It's terrible. It's really, I don't know. I think Marty set him up to fail, and they ultimately did what I thought they would have done because
I,
I don't think even the
yeah.
commentator said like the lines weren't, it takes time to get used to it, but then the
Hmm.
guys that were being played in certain roles were like they don't deserve to be here. I know most of the teams been playing bad, but it to me it doesn't send the right message to the group.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why Marty keeps putting Josh Anderson on the top line with Cole and Suzuki. I
Sam,
would.
I don't know why he plays. I like
Well, no, he's Josh. Actually, Josh Anderson, believe it or not, like I'm actually really liking him on the penalty kill. Like
okay.
so far
Yeah,
this
but
year, like I actually really think he's been doing a good job on the penalty kill.
the,
I
the,
don't
the
think he should be on the top line. I don't know if you try to put him with Doc and Slavkovsky. Do you put Slavkovsky back on the top line? Do you try new hook with Suzuki and Caulfield? I don't know.
Sam,
I don't know.
the thing with Anderson, I just say it in that way because his expectation was to be a goal scorer, right? And he's not.
Yeah. Well,
He
he
like
was brought in as a top six, exactly.
yeah, and he's not. He's certainly not showing it. There was a comment earlier, and I'm not saying whether it's Anderson, Heineman, Kapanen, but I think Montreal should. Yeah, maybe you should look at Laval. Look to see what Beck and
Dude,
Laval.
look how
Wow, I'll say more to Wow than anybody else.
Dude, well, okay, so I was at the Laval Rocket game yesterday evening when they played against the Providence Bruins, and then they played today, this afternoon at 3 o'clock against the same team, Providence Bruins. So if you guys tuned into our episode 230, where we did our very first live in-person episode at the very popular and famous Habs Cave, which our buddy Sunil owns. Sunil was the guest on that episode as well, and it was fantastic. He was fantastic. At one point, Anthony says to everybody that like the Canadiens don't have an identity right now, and that's true. Right now, we don't have an identity this season. Look at the Laval Rocket. Does everybody here, all you guys, everybody listening and tuning in, do you guys all remember that wolf pack mentality that the Canadiens had, at least since Marty came here?
Yeah, but they've
So
lost it.
they've lost it. You know who has that right now?
The
The
Laval Rocket.
fucking Laval Rocket. Today you had guys sticking up for each other, getting in the dirty areas for their teammates, like really taking like they were fighting for one another. And I saw this yesterday, and they did that today as well. Man, like Joshua Roy, Owen Beck, Logan Mailloux, I think is too good for the Miners right now. It doesn't make sense how he's got 9 points in 3 games.
Yeah, but
He's
what do you do with the blue line? I mean,
I understand. I'm just
you know what I
saying
mean?
his time is gonna come. I really think Joshua Roy is gonna be deserving of a chance up with the Canadians.
He should.
And I really think I think you gotta try. Maybe I don't know. I like Heineman, but I think maybe he'd be a lot more useful in the minors playing a top 6 role than he is right now.
Yeah, no, I think it's a change that's necessary for sure. I think Marty has to make this change because obviously there's a lot of pressure on him.
Just in case people are wondering, like, why can't they send Kapanen? So this is the Curtis brings up a very very good point. Yeah, it's that whole thing with him having to go back to Finland, I believe. So
Yeah, that's a
so
good point, Curtis. And I wanted to know back to John as well. Thank you. I know you said you agree with most.
this is a
Um,
1,000%. I wonder if this team is just cracking under pressure, trying to be in the mix.
yeah, and they
I
put too
think so.
much
I think
emphasis on
so.
themselves.
I
And
think
look,
so.
I wanna report I wanna know back to John. I'm not putting everything on Marty. I know it's easy, but I mean, I don't know. I think from his background of coaching, like it's very hard for me to justify for a team that's trying to get better. I know they're trying to sort out the bad apples, but you'd like to see a little bit of progress, and we're going backwards. I think he's been part of the issue, but you can't change every single player. So I'm not saying Hughes will do it, but Hughes is put in a spot now where they have to start performing and they're not. So somebody has to sort of take the blame. I don't know if Marty's the full guy to blame yet, but I think he's been part of the issue with the players. That's all I'm trying to say. It's been a lot of players, a lot of people, not just one individual.
Do you think this rebuild is over? Because
No, it's
I'm
not.
still in
It's
the
not.
mindset that the rebuild is still not over.
Sam, whether to me whether rebuild is still on or not, by this point of the rebuild, you should start seeing certain players trend upwards and the play itself trend a little upwards, and it's not. Like I said, this record could be the same if we're dominating games and just couldn't find the back of the net. But statistically, watching, we look worse than almost every team we've played.
Yeah, yeah. I like what Ron's saying here. They are healthier this year, but so far they're worse than last season. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, Ron. This
yeah.
is what we're talking about. I know we're in a rebuild, but we're look. You can't tell me this team is worse than last year. I just I just can't see how this team is worse than last year. And last year, to me, we looked a little better on the ice. So it doesn't make
Well,
sense to me.
we had a little. I again. I don't know what the heck.
It's not a
It's
write
it's
off.
it,
It's not a
it's
write
no,
off.
it's not right off. But like, I just don't understand what the like. What's so different with this team compared to last year?
I think part of it is
Besides Lane Hudson, besides besides Heineman and Kapanen, the rest of the
it,
team is the same.
it's pressure. It's well, look, Line A, I know he's not there, but it's guys that got a year older, which should mean that they're supposed to be getting better if they're supposed to be good players, right? And it's a pressure of being in the mix. And look, you guys will probably not remember. I might, but the coaching staff, we said it a while ago. Year one, year two, the coaching staff will have no pressure. But by year three and four, with a team that's supposed to be getting better in a rebuild, you're going to see if they're actually coaches to take you there. And I think everybody has pressure now. It's different of playing no pressure hockey for 2 years because they weren't supposed to be anywhere. The minute they said we'll try to be in the mix, they get Liney, they get the hype, they get Hudson. Okay, now it's time to perform. They're not doing it because they can't seem to perform under pressure. And maybe it is somebody said about sorting the bad apples. Maybe we'll look to see who's actually fit to bring us to the playoffs.
I like this quote from Radomir. Overcomplication of the simple things, not being totally in the zone at all times. I thought
Yeah.
we've been saying that for a while. I just think they're overthinking so many fucking things.
Yes,
It's
they
just
are.
so many
They
things.
don't
Like
keep it simple.
it's
Look at Matheson. We didn't talk about a specific play.
yeah,
I was about to throw my phone at the
yeah,
TV.
he had a
The drop
rough
pass to
yeah
Hudson
to
that led to
Hudson.
the
That
empty
he had a
netter.
rough time, man. Like it's
When Dvorak is one of your better players, Sam, in a game, there's a problem.
no, it's again, it's trying to do. Okay, so when I say they're overthinking, I mean like they know they're in a situation. It's like they're trying to do everything they can to spark something, and it's like just losing that simple-minded aspect of the game where like, okay, let me like getting pucks in deep, getting a shot on net, or just taking that extra time of looking up, just see what options you have. You know what I mean? Yeah, that drop play, he unfortunately he left Hudson in a fucking awkward spot, and Hudson actually recovered it, I think once or twice, and then it got lost again, and that's when the empty netter came in. So yeah, it was a play like that. It's man, I know we preach patience about Kirby Doc, but I didn't expect it to be this slow for him.
No,
I'm
he's
not
coming
saying
back
he's
from a serious injury.
yeah, I'm not
Very
saying
tough.
he's terrible. I'm not saying Doc is terrible. Maybe I set the bar for him a little too high at the very start without realizing like maybe I shouldn't, you know, especially after the two major injuries. I don't know. Do you hear the ding?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. It's
It's
just
all good.
getting texts coming in, getting messages about this team. So, yeah.
I'm ready to see Demidov. That's
Oh
all I'm
my
ready for.
God, am I? I think we all are. But listen, are we embracing a tank here? Is it a
I mean,
embrace a tank
are
for?
we tied for like second to third last place? I think we
Here, hold
are.
on. Let me check the stats here. I know the Canadiens are at the bottom of the Atlantic. I mean, they're tied with the Buffalo Sabres with 9 points.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're tied for they're tied with
the
Pittsburgh passed us now, so they're
believe it or not, the worst team in the NHL
is
is
Predators.
the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, and then San
That's
Jose, they're only 2 points behind us, but they have a game less, which they're playing now.
yeah. Okay.
Are we embracing a tank? It's a little too early, but I think we'll know more by Christmas if we certainly are.
Yeah, that's gonna be obviously the that's
Nashville's
obviously
winning 3-1, Sam, by the way, so they might catch us.
I
I mean, it's still tight with everybody. We'll see what line it, but
like Elias. Yes, Sammy. Like he told me, we scream tank. Elias is a diehard Laval Rocket fan, and apparently he's got tickets for us every time. So if ever you want to go see a Laval Rocket game, I guess all we have to do is just reach out to him, right?
you know what, Elias? I've only been to one, and I actually had a good time.
I went with my dad
And
yesterday. I brought my father. Yeah, and he had a blast.
yeah,
Yeah, he
it's
had
a
a
good
great.
time. Modern. I like the atmosphere, the music. It's
It's
really
fun.
modern compared to Bell Center. I know
It's
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 newer.
well, it's the best barn in the minors, I think. Maybe I'm being a bit too biased, but hey,
But
Drew
they're
Deeks, what's up, Drew?
hey, what's up, Drew?
Hope you're
Yeah,
doing
but they're
well.
playing well at least, right? So
Well, it helps when they win. Like we get a lot of messages, a lot of DMs of like people like, screw it, I'm going to Laval Rocket games. Screw it, I'm watching Laval Rocket games. And man, they're playing with so much heart. And now just I'm gonna stir the fucking pot a little bit here, but I have a question for everybody. It's this is in the back of my mind, and I want just people just think about it. I'm not saying Marty's going to get fired. I'm not saying Marty's going to get replaced. But in the event that the Canadians do feel like we need to make a coaching change, I wonder if Pascal Vincent is going to be that guy. And part of me, this might sound like just a major coincidence, and I'm probably in left field, or like we say in French, t'es dans le champ, le gros. I'm probably wrong. There's a 99.9% chance I'm wrong. But was Pascal Vincent brought into the organization thinking that if it does not work out with Marty, I'm not saying that's the sole reason they're bringing a guy with actual NHL coaching experience. He had coaching experience everywhere in the minors, in the NHL. I believe in junior too. Like, It's way. I understand. I'm probably getting people fucking upset saying this, but part of me just wonders. It's more of a question. I'm just questioning it. That's all. I don't know.
Sam, you sound like Anthony. Where
Do
with
I?
your
That's not a
theory.
good thing.
No.
It's not. It's not. It's not a theory. It's more so. It's a question. I'm just questioning it, or a wonder. I'm just wondering because if that does happen, and I'm not saying this season. I don't think it's going to be this season. I don't think Marty's going anywhere this season. I truly believe in my heart of hearts, and I'm being real
No,
here.
I agree.
Marty's job is not in danger. I don't think he's in the hot seat
But
not members of the media aren't putting Marty in the hot seat. Actually, it's
Sam,
more.
if it's this season continues the way it is for the entire year, or like our perspective of it is, I think they will take a long look at it in the off season.
And I think a lot of it too will depend on what Pascal Vincent does with the Laval Rocket.
Let's bring back Michel Terrien, Sam.
No, stop it!
I'm
Don't
joking.
stop.
I'm joking. I'm
Love
one
the
of the.
content. Yoda
Thank you, Yoda.
Baggins. Oh my God, Yoda Baggins. I love it. The mixture of my two favorite,
Characters.
my two favorite, not sagas, but oh my God, trilogies: Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
Bilbo or
Stars.
Frodo, Sam?
Why are we getting?
Hey,
Let's
we
go.
have
Let's,
Baggins here.
let's go with Bobo. Let's go with Bilbo.
Bilbo.
Have
Okay.
a good night, Ron. Thanks for tuning in, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, no, Bilbo all the way. Yeah, no, I really think. Listen, Pascal Vincent is building. Is building the culture right now that Marty did last year or the first year he came in. Like it's a complete replica of what Marty did, except maybe I don't know, maybe because he has a little bit more experience than Marty, it's working out
Well,
well.
what does
I don't
he
know.
have in NHL? He has that one for head coach. He has that one season with Columbus, right?
Well,
I believe.
I know he was an assistant, but
Was he ever a head coach?
I don't know about head coach, but I think he was in the minors.
Okay.
I'd have to double check, but like let's just say, forgive my ignorance and my lack of knowledge on this particular subject, but he does have a little bit more professional coaching experience
Absolutely. Yeah.
compared to Marty. Okay, so once again, I reiterate, I don't think Marty's job is in danger. A lot of people are commenting saying that Pascal Vincent is brought in as an insurance. Yeah, Curtis said that actually makes sense. And right now, man, the Laval Rocket are having fun. Like Owen Beck is playing amazing. Joshua Roy is playing amazing. Logan Mailloux is playing amazing. Dude, Luke Tuck. I know we say, let's bring up Joshua Roy, rightfully so. Let's try Owen Beck and send Dvorak down. Probably. It's a good argument.
Cut Dvorak.
Pardon me?
Cut him. Don't send him into any part of our organization. Let
Doesn't
him
matter.
go.
Well, you can't stop. You can't do that.
Release.
I think you know what? I saw Luke Tuck play. The kid could skate. He's a fast skater. He's not a speedster, but he could skate. He could keep up. He's a fucking tank. And he could hit. Dude, man, what Laval is doing compared to the Canadiens is that they're playing with intensity. They finish their checks. They get in your fucking face. The Canadiens aren't doing that right now. When
No,
the
they're
Canadiens do that, they win.
Yeah,
They did that against the Flyers. That's why they won. And I think they did that a little bit, to the best of my memory, against the Blues. And they won.
and they won. But a fragile team like Pittsburgh, there's no excuse not to have a better effort tonight. It's Pittsburgh. If we love to say Crosby, Malkin are so great, but as an overall team, Sam, like they're fragile like we are, and we couldn't take advantage.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Luke Tuck. Yeah, I've been hearing good things. I haven't watched as many Rockets
No,
games. but
he's
Luke
good.
Tuck
Like
is good.
him and Florian Jacky look great together. Actually, they actually do. But I just think Luke Tuck is just a little bit more developed in his body.
So he's a bit more advanced, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. Like I think you
Sam,
know what,
I'm
if
ready
they,
to get rid of that bottom six. I'm ready to just
well, that's another thing
change
too,
it all
right?
over.
It's excuse me, that bottom six is not going to be part of this future.
No.
Like no disrespect to Armia and Dvorak, but they're on a contract year. The only one that's on a contract year that's actually playing lights out is Jake Evans.
Yes. Agreed.
That's the only one, and even him tonight. He made a couple good. Might have made a. Listen, the whole team tonight was just they forgot to wake up from a fucking nap. They only woke up in the third period after Dvorak's goal. So the new Bash brothers, Florian and Tuck, I like that. I really, really do. We might see that.
Well.
That could be a good bottom six pairing amongst the forwards. Oh boy. We're gonna go to our Instagram questions. Even though we didn't get quite much of them tonight, we still got quite a few from our.
A lot of them came into the chat, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true. So here, I'll get to them right now. Just hold up a sec. Our buddy Jordan. I'm getting tired of this goddamn shit.
So are we, Jordan.
So are we. Said_1203. Thoughts on Achari? Oh, Achari. Yeah,
he was annoying tonight.
I mean, the hit on Dvorak was clean. He plays hard. He hits hard. I got no problem with that. The hit on Slavkovsky, actually, that's a question I need to.
I think it was clean because Slavkovsky went to reach for the puck and his head was down. To me, I don't think that's on Achari. What that guy did to defend him, sure.
Yeah.
It's part of the game because Achari is playing hard, but I don't think Achari did anything. It was nothing like who was it in New York that hit Barron? What's his name?
Trouba.
Trouba. It's nothing like Trouba. No, I think Achari just plays a hard game, and he caught Slavkovsky with his head down. I guess that's a bit on Slavkovsky. I don't think it was dirty.
I like this question, though, but we'll get back to it. Could they be better than Beijing, Kostopoulos, and Jeff Halpern? Oh, my God. Circa 2009? Was that it? 2009, 2010? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. That's a fantastic...
that's a blast from the past. You know what? I actually miss those three guys nowadays, seeing what's going on.
You know what? Tom Kostopoulos had the biggest set of Greek cojones like ever. Yes. The guy knew the guy wanted to fight to defend his teammates and to, he knew he would take a beating. I don't recall him ever winning a fight every time he dropped the gloves.
Me neither, but I don't think he ever backed down. So
he never backed down. That's why I said he had that he had that fire in him. Our buddy Gordo, this team looks lost in all areas of the ice at times. Yeah,
it does. I think structurally we're not playing like a sound hockey team. Sam, I don't for hockey lately. Obviously, I've been so busy. I haven't been able to see other teams with the chances I do, and I watch some other games. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the hell? What am I watching in Montreal? No disrespect to when I watch some of these teams, are like, wow, like this is incredible.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm again, same here. It's just been a bit of a crazy time for me. That's a crazy time for all of us, and that's why
Travis Moen. Sorry, Radomir.
Yeah, I saw that.
Travis Moen. I will never forget his goal against Pittsburgh on Sergei Gonchar in the playoffs.
And then just set off Bob Cole, the very famous. What is going on in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it was like a 4-0 at that time. It was ridiculous.
Where's the Dutch Gretzky when you need him? Yeah. Actually, they always.
I'm gonna give it's not a shout out, but he mentioned Gretzky. I actually wanted to mention something related to Gretzky and Ovechkin. I've been keeping tabs on the.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting
36
there.
Goals. I want him to make it. 36 goals.
36. I think he will. I think he could get it by the end of next season.
Yes,
I think he's gonna reach 20 something this year, and he's only gonna need like 15.
That's the only reason I think he's still playing. To be quite honest,
1,000%. Oh, if he had the option to retire, I think he would because he accomplished everything.
Yeah,
Alex Ovechkin accomplished everything he needed to do from day one since he got drafted in 2004. Ovi will hit it this year. Ooh. You really think? Ooh,
I hope he does. Hey,
that'd be amazing.
He already has 6 goals in 10-11 games. It's not bad for him.
Yeah. Well, even Washington, but even Washington as a whole, like
they're playing well. They're top of the Metropolitan.
They're doing a lot better than I think most people thought they would.
They're top of the Metropolitan.
Yeah, that is true. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I think we could wrap this up, Joey, because like there's honestly there isn't that much to say. Canadians come home on Tuesday against even them too, the red hot Calgary Flames. Are the Flames red hot?
I have not watched the Flames.
No pun intended, actually, but like
Like, yes, they're doing well.
they're actually
The Flames,
doing
but I haven't
well.
seen them play.
Weirdly enough, where are they in their division? They're third in their division in
And
the Pacific. They're up
guys
there
in
with
the-
they're up there with the Kings and the Golden Knights.
Sam, I'd like to come on here, and this is, so I can also mention to Chad. I hate to be like down on this team. It's not only that, but I'd love to come on an episode where I can talk about a win, and I haven't been on one.
So do I. I don't know when's the last time I've been on a fucking post game show with a win. I'm trying to remember.
For me, it was only Toronto.
And I wasn't on because I was at the game.
Yeah.
I was there live in the flesh at the Bell Center with the rest of the 21,000 people, which even that game debatably it's debatable they should have lost because Sam Montembeault was lights out, and that was his only best game of the year.
Yeah, the season started September. I know we missed a bit of last week. We had a changeover for us, but the season started in October, and it's been nearly a month, and I haven't been on where they won.
Well, look, the win against St. Louis, it was my cousin Chris's birthday, and then the win against Philly. Well, we just couldn't because of I guess production complications, whatever we call it, schedule conflicts, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I want to do a fucking win. I'm tired of doing losing post game shows.
So am I. I'm
Like,
gonna start being Tony
Joe-
Marinaro soon.
Dude,
Tony
Tony Marinaro in French is the greatest thing ever.
is.
That he's been the. I've been a fan of Tony.
Elias mentioned it. I'll give him
Yeah.
a mention for this. Elias, I can really bring out a Tony Marinaro if I want. I kind of keep everything in now to be okay.
No, but
with
Joe, this is what it's also 10 past 10:30, and we don't want
Yeah,
to wake
we're
up our
tired.
neighbors and shit. This is how as far as I'm willing to go is usually Tuesday nights. I have pickup hockey in my area, right? I'm actually gonna not go because I'm putting all of my faith and all of my belief into the Canadiens beating the Calgary Flames on Tuesday, so we could both fucking jump on here and discuss about a good Montreal Canadiens win at home against the Calgary Flames.
I don't know about that, Sam. You're gonna put faith in Montreal. I don't know.
Well, at some point they have to win, right?
Elias, in 10 games, if we're like this, I'm gonna snap too. And I've snapped before. I've left when like mid shows before because of drafting. So
Thanks.
I have it in me.
Oh my God! Thanks, Curtis.
Thank you,
Yo,
Curtis.
please, Joe. That was just you be like, yeah, bye. You didn't do anything. You just left.
I could snap whenever.
Sure, you can snap. We haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting.
Yes, we have seen it. Not Tony Marinaro level, of course.
You don't want to get your blood pressure so high to the point where like you might
I
collapse.
definitely
You might collapse live in front of your mic. Yeah, Joe. Screw it. I'm going with it. I'm calling it. You heard it here, folks. A Montreal Canadiens win against the Calgary Flames Tuesday night post-game show. We're gonna talk about a final fucking win. I'm doing it.
If they don't, I'm driving an hour wherever you are, Sam, and I'm gonna kill. No, I can't say those words.
No, you're not. What are you, Joe? You can't. You could try, Joe. Joe, you don't even drive
not put your
daytime
faith
to
on
come
them
see me.
Tuesday.
I will. No. I'm gonna make this fun. I am putting from my mouth. From my mouth to the powers above. In the words of Radomir, I really am. You want to do a friendly bet? Are we allowed to bet online? Are we allowed to even do this? I don't know.
Friendly bet, sure.
Friendly bet. Okay. If the Canadians win, Joe, if the Canadians win and you're driving to come see me, you better bring a fucking 6-pack of beer.
Okay. And if
All
they
right.
lose, you tell me I'm the best podcaster, and you always look down. You always look up to me.
Joe, Joe,
You have to say it online.
Joe,
everybody.
you and I both know when we stand next together, I will never be looking up to you.
On the podcast, so it's the same thing. You
Okay, what do you want me to say to you? I'll write this down. I'll write this
you are
shit
the
down.
best. You are the
You
best
are the-
podcaster of all time, and I
You are
wouldn't
the-
be here without you.
You are the worst podcaster of all time, and I'm embarrassed to call you my friend.
That is
Okay.
that is
No,
terrible.
that's me. Okay, you are the best podcaster ever, and I'm glad to have you in my life. Is that what it is? Is that what you
No,
said?
you're the best podcaster, and I wouldn't be here without you.
You are the best podcaster, and I wouldn't be here without you. Okay, if the Canadians lose on Tuesday against the Flames, I will come on this show live to you, and I will say that to your face. in front of all of our fans and all of our
And
listeners.
tell him Anthony's always wrong. You can add that little note.
The Canadians don't even need to lose for me to say Anthony's always like we don't even have to bet. Just Anthony is always wrong. Once
That
in a
is true.
while, he'll say one thing that actually does make sense, but then after that, he just drops again. No, 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 no. Anthony, if you're listening to this, we love you. Joe, I'm good to call it a night.
Yeah, no, same. There's
Yeah.
really look. I would love to dive in more on the team, the game, but there's really not much. It's the same thing
No,
we've
there
been
isn't.
saying
It's the same thing. Yeah. So listen,
for a little while.
hopefully the hockey gods will hear my prayer. But listen, to all of our viewers who tuned in tonight, thank you so much. Sorry we've
Thank
been
you.
away for a little bit, but thanks for your patience and thanks for tuning in. Again, click like and subscribe to this channel. It is absolutely free. Tell your friends about us. Share this with other Habs fans that you know. We promise to give you guys a good show, even if the Canadians aren't. And let's just keep this conversation going. Let's believe they could turn this ship around, because what else do we got? And keep rooting for the Laval Rocket, because honestly, there's something good amongst those prospects that, hey, maybe one day that could transition to the NHL and to the Montreal Canadiens. Audio formats are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Once again, you could join us on Twitter or X, Instagram. We're on Facebook. Those are our social media platforms that we're most active on. Joey, thanks again, buddy, for doing this. Have a good Sunday tomorrow.
Pleasure's all mine, Sam.
Have a good night. And listen, go Habs, go! Let's hope they win this on Tuesday against the Calgary Flames at the Bell Center, 7 p.m. start. Joey, you better hope they win, buddy, because I don't want to say what you want me to tell you. So let's hope for a win, okay?
Sure.
Joe, until then,
Bye now.
bye now. Good night.